in the bottom left here in the red. Tied up at 0-0 because, of course, that's how that works. He is for the Shopify Rebellion, Byun. In the upper right in the blue. Looking to do what he did on Sunday. It's Gerald. Looking to do the do. So the question now is not necessarily how serious does Byun take this, but how much does he respect his opponent's, and there we go, second gas goes down. I was gonna say, how much does he respect his opponent's ability to play the early game? Because MaxPax, also on PSISTORM, has excellent late game TVP, and he's great at coming back from deficits, but he really suffers in the early to mid game. So from that perspective, we will expect to see, if Byun does win this series, we are going to expect to see a lot of 3x pressure type of builds, 3-1-1s, 2-1-1s coming out of Byun, because that just is what allows you to put pressure on the Protoss and snowball the game out of control. But of course, Byun, again, he has opened up. He's going to open barracks, double gas, well, gas, barracks, gas, I think, into that factory, into some sort of early tech, most likely Wetamite drops, could also be Hellions, of course. And, well, just try to get him a bunch of damage done early. He did this to Nina, and it worked rather well. But while I'm excited about Nina's return, and she has been looking good, she's hitting #1 on the NA ladder, which is, of the 3 major regions, probably the least impactful. #1, to be totally frank. Getting #1 on EU is worth talking about. Getting #1 on Korea is worth talking about. It's funny. Remember back in the day, we had Europe, we had Westerners. They'd go to Korea, and the talking point's like, okay, they made top 16 on the Korean ladder. They're gonna dominate this Western event, which is not quite as true anymore. But hitting top on the Korean ladder, hitting top on Europe, yeah, that's a big deal. NA, maybe not so much, but looks like Gerald in this game. He says, yes, okay, you know what? I like early game shenanigans. Let's drop a proxy Stargate. That's what I think we're gonna see here. There we go. And this actually does not. This hurts Gerald. He's not gonna have a lot defensively at home. Stargate against this build Byun is going for is fantastic. You get a bunch of Phoenix out, and you're very happy. You're able to lift everything up and deny the aggression. But with Gerald proxying here, he's gonna get an Oracle. You get run on the other side, he's gonna be saying, oh, wait a minute. He's not gonna have anything to defend this pressure from Byun. That being said, this is not a quick starport. It's not any sort of drop play. In fact, oh, Byun. Is Byun gonna see this? Byun! Okay. Well, you know, he sees that now. And while this Oracle most likely will be able to complete, as there we go, Chrono dropped even before the Oracle gets started getting maximum value out of it. Well, actually, he had a second Reaper here and a Hylian. This actually may be able to get it in time, but but the Adepts and the Stalkers, okay, it looks like it will be able to knock this down. Byun will not be able to kill off the pylon, but it doesn't even really matter. The Scout is the most important thing. And so he's gonna have a Cyclone out on the map. The Oracle, I don't even really begrudge Gerald from just canceling the Oracle. At that point, you force the reaction out of Byun, maybe that's gonna be worthwhile, but Oracle into the natural now. Cyclone is, Cyclone's a little late, so actually Gerald has an opportunity to find a little bit more, but with Marines here, they're going to buy just enough time, and now Cyclone looking for a little bit more, but still not getting the lock on. Okay, but now Byun finds it, and the Marines and the Cyclone looking for the lock on at the same time. There's the scan. Oh, lock on range is so damn long. It's going to get Oracle #1. Now, there's a second one on the way, and if this is 0, we'd see a third one as well, but I'm not even sure that second one gets out. There's no, well, there is a Chrono on it, but the pylon is taking half damage, and there's a lock on onto it, so this Oracle should not get, you don't think it gets out. Byun should have sent the Marines, but it does not really matter. At the end of the day, it goes down. The Marines instead just buffering for the Cyclone to make sure that nothing really happens to that expensive tech unit. And now Gerald gets literally no SCVs for a failed proxy. I mean, he got a Reaper and a Hellion, but... Or he got both Reapers and a Hellion, but that is not worth it, folks. That is not a positive trade in the slightest. Now Byun here just running across the map with what he's got. Second Cyclone, bunch of Marines. His stim is halfway done. It's going to be done right around that 6-minute mark, taking a page out of Ryung's book. But even still, this army that he's got, it's 4 Stalkers versus a tank, 2 Cyclones, 14 Marines. Yeah, the Stalkers have a good position on the high ground, but even still, Byun's just going to look to run on through this. Stalkers do not have Blink yet, so Cyclone lock-ons are going to kill 2 Stalkers. Well, 1 Stalker, okay. But now we're going to see Byun with a tank as well. He's going to look to just section off this third base. He says, yeah, you don't get to do this, Gerald. I'm going to punish you so damn hard for that pressure you put on. Now, some more Stalkers, they warp in, of course, but the pylon will go down. Gerald not getting supply blocked just yet, but he can't engage into this. Actually, he's going to find the tank on siege, but even if it just gets 2 shots, you're going to be very happy. The Cyclone lock-ons as well. So many of the Stalkers are going down. It is only 2 Stalkers, only 3. Looks like Byun will not be able to kill that last one, but look at what Gerald. Yeah, Gerald. This is a MacGuffin. The third base here is it's really just a magnet. You say, yeah, you know, I think I'm going to lose this, so I'm going to expand to the 4th base location. At least I keep one of them alive. But Byun, you're going to spend a lot to get this one, and you're going to think you're very happy. You're going to be very pleased with yourself, and you're going to be very happy. Which, to be totally honest, Byun should be. But he's going to trade most of his army away for this, and still the 4th base, still the 3rd base is not. I mean, it's behind, but it's not as behind as it could be. He was already, Gerald had that 3rd base on the way. At the time, 4th base, pretty much when Byun started to put pressure on what had been his 3rd. So, not the end of the world. And in fact, Gerald immediately drops the Nexus again. He says, I'm just going to outgreed the man. Okay. I mean, that's fair, because Byun did commit a lot of his army to making that happen. Stalkers on the high ground, though, blinking. Yeah, there's Stim. They're going to have to blink backwards, and one of them will go down anyways. That's a bit spooky. Meanwhile, Cyclone on the other side is actually not bothering to kill that off. I thought he was. Interesting that it's taken almost no damage. I guess he didn't lock on after all. Okay, Gerald behind this. He does have 4. He almost has 4 Nexus up, which is going to be nice for him. He's finds himself up about 9 workers, and Charge is going to be on the way. So Charge-led Archon Storm will be the name of the game, as we do see 4 gases. Charge-led Archon Storm will be the name of the game for Gerald in this game. And we're going to have to see how Byun reacts to it, because he does not have his 3rd base just yet. In fact, he just finds himself on 5 racks before that 3rd base. And normally the 6-minute stim is you actually get a faster 3rd than you would for a 3-1-1. But Byun instead, he's effectively hitting a 3-1-1 timing with 5 barracks instead of 3. So 7:30, his +1 is just about done. Combat shields are done. Your 3rd base on the way now, on location, in fact. But this is a terrifying army for Byun. Your Storm is only halfway done, and the High Templar, they just represent army supply that is not useful. So Byun looking to rally the next clump of his army on over. When that +1 is complete, he's going to look to stim in. In fact, Gerald agrees to meet him in the middle of the map, and that just means, well, actually, I don't think a lot died, but now Byun's stimming on in here. There's an Archon. It certainly means no storms, which is what you're looking for. But there's an Archon here. Shield Overcharge doing a great job of keeping that alive. But Byun, he continues to rally in. 30 army supply lead the Zealots. They run forward, and they're great meat shields, but they're still die here. And Shield Battery Overcharge is done in a second. Archon not really finding the value it looks for. Widowmine's getting great shots as well. But there, the Storm is done. Byun just runs right on through it, though. It does not really matter. The Storm was too damn late. And now the Marauders, the Marines, they're firing strong. The Marauders, they just don't even care about the Storm's probes. Are going to get pulled. Zealots run forward. But this army of Byun, 52 army supply to 10, has everything and anything and every possible thing he could look to say about this game. 17 workers go down. Gerald will lose what was the 3rd, is the 4th, whatever you want to call it. And Gerald he's on copium at this point. He says, maybe I can get another Storm. Maybe the army's going to be low enough. Maybe the wet medevacs are going to be dry enough that I can make something happen. But I don't know that it makes up for the supply differential here at this point. As Byun again stims on forward. We don't even have energy on the High Templar, so Byun's going to find him. It's going to be more of an into an Archon. Pylon goes down, so Shield Battery Overcharge is worse than useless. Does not matter at all. And there we have it. Game 1 goes to Byun. In the bottom left now in the red. He's up 1 game in the series, folks. Give it up. His name, Byun. In the upper right, in the blue. Down a game in the series, and didn't look all that close, but proxies get found. It is for PSISTORM, Gerald. So again, Byun, aggressive option. Gas before natural. We're gonna have to see what he does differently in this game, because I don't know that it's gonna be the exact same opener. I mean, it could be. Getting into 6-minute stim instead of 7 minutes is always really nice. It just mucks with a lot of the Protoss builds. A lot of the Protoss builds are the defensive Protoss builds are really designed to have critical mass by right around 7:30, minute and a half after the build that we saw Byun do last game. Granted, of course, it was a failed proxy, so we can't judge it too harshly. But that being said, getting that earlier stim. Again, it hits a little bit faster than a lot of Protoss builds are used to. But Gerald scouts the main. He says, okay, there's the factory. There's the 2 barracks, or the 2 gas. I kind of know what's up. At least I know the idea of what's up. It's pressure. He doesn't know exactly what the version of the build that Byun's going for is. I think we're going to actually, considering we don't see another Reaper on the way, I think this is just going to be Widow Mine drops for the second game. Maybe with Cloak, maybe with an Armory, but maybe not. We'll see. And... oh, Gerald's just expanding. I do like the idea of a Stargate in this game. Whether he decides to go for it is a different story, but it appears not because, well, Cybercore is done. And it's not like, well, Gerald actually is banking about on 200 gas. He actually... what is this forge? Okay, there we go. There's the Stargate. So there is a forge on the high ground that is looking to block things off, and that is a very early forge. And with this being a Stargate opener, I mean, we saw the gas get banged for it. It's not like he's going to go for some sort of click +1 blink stalker shenanigans. Stargate slows all of that down. So this forge may have just been for a cheap building in the wall, but that's just weird. I mean, I guess part of it is you deny the scout from... wait, not 2 Stargate. No, it's just 1 Stargate. Yeah, not crazy. That Stargate completed. Part of it denies the scout. Generally, you would put the Stargate in that spot in the wall. Boy, that's kind of the only thing I can think of. That's really weird. Anyways, well, medevacs are on the way. We have 2 Widow Mines on the map. And we're going to have to see how much Byun gets done with this one. But, of course, Phoenix are on the way. And because Byun is open with this aggressive option, because he does not know that there are any Phoenix on the map here, he will go full send on the pressure, which is good for Gerald, because Gerald should be able to defend all of this properly. He's going to get a Reaper in the main base, but 3 Adepts say, no, you don't get to do that. And now Gerald's going to have 3 or 4 Phoenix out by the time this drop finds its way onto the other side, and that's just going to be a net lead for Gerald in this game, much like Byun had a significant net lead off of finding the proxy in the last one. Byun also going for a Raven behind this, which is really problematic when we talk about pushes. It's so hard to get the Raven, especially on a map as long as the Glittering Ashes. It's so hard to get the Raven onto the other side of the map. Good Terrans will, of course, they'll kind of keep it with the army, but it's a bigger APM sink when Phoenix are always kind of desperately searching to snipe it down. Also, this will be Charged Live Phoenix beyond this. +1 armor getting done very quickly. There actually was a method to the madness of Gerald, although, of course, he could have had that forge a lot later, but it did deny the scout, so you can't be too unhappy about that one. Where's this drop from Byun? Okay, it's on the right side. Byun actually seems like he's somewhat aware of the potential of Phoenix here, because he hasn't gotten a scout on anything, and that by itself is kind of spooky. Seeing that forge is also a tell that Gerald has probably something hidden in his main base. So Byun actually, the Widow Mine drop actually is the Phoenix are not there. They're on the west side. I guess that's where Gerald is anticipating things, but Byun's going to stim in or to drop in anyways, and we're going to have to see how much he gets done. Widow Mines go down. It looks like he's going to get 1 worker, which, you know, honestly, the fact that he got anything, considering how this was just build order counted, is actually really nice for Byun. I mean, Gerald's still in a great spot, don't get me wrong, but the fact that he got something is always a wonderful, wonderful thing. But this is going to be, of course, delayed stim because of that. Not delayed, but later stim than what happened in the last game because of this. And now the Phoenix, they feel released. They can be on the map because the pressure, the drop of Byun, well, it's not there anymore. It's been killed off. So Byun does not have a lot of drop pressure anymore. And this is actually a great way to play Byun in specifically, because Byun loves his drop play. His TVP is predicated on a couple things. But the big one is drop play, on multitasking his opponent out of the game to the point where he just gets too much damage. He's able to make something happen. But now we're going to see the Phoenix in dead airspace. They're going to try to get this tank, but Cyclone lock-ons and Marines out of the bunker say, no. It looks like Byun will lose a couple Marines in exchange. But if you're a Terran, absolutely, you'll take... I think Byun just armor shredded his own tank. That's fun. Okay, now Phoenix finding their way onto the other side with a lot of charge slots. Byun is not ready for this. +1 armor is, of course, done for Gerald, but this army that Gerald has is really scary. And he's going to try to catch Byun as he runs out. Right around 45 seconds from now, but it's on the map in earnest already. And Byun needs to make sure that he does not go crazy on this one. Ooh, nice bait with the Widow Mines. That's going to be one dead Phoenix, but still the Cyclone will die anyways. Marines having to rotate over. Their stim is done in 3 seconds. But also, Army of Byun has now been forced in the main base. That theoretically is a window that Gerald can look to hit. But I don't think he's going to try. And Byun seems rather content. What's that on the other side? Oh, one Marine runs over, but he sees the charge is done already. He's going to be able to click on all the units on the ground, see +1 armies. So he's going to say, okay, look, I do not get active on the map with this. Maybe I drop, as there's one medvac full of 8 Marines in there, but I do not get active on the map with this one. Gerald's entire game plan is designed to kill Byun as Byun gets active. So Byun, instead turtling up, he gets some Widow Mines a little bit forward, but he still has bunkers to defend, and with his third base on the way, he's not happy per se that he doesn't. Ooh, those Widow Mines are still there. He's not happy per se that he can't really do much on the map, and Gerald is taking advantage of this to go get a 4th base. But if you don't lose anything, you're fine. And this build that Byun has, or the build that Gerald has, it starts to time out right around the time the Terran gets 150, 160 odd supply. Now here come a bunch of Zealots. Widow Mines though are terrifying. So Zealot runs in, trying to eat 2 Widow Mine shots there, and he will. But can he push on forward though? Oh yeah, there we go. Good job, Byun. He's going to run the exposed Widow Mines that, of course, spent their shots. He's going to run them back, and now missile turrets going down. Byun just building whatever he can to deny the AI of the Zealots as they're up in the main base. We're going to have to see how much this gets done. Shield battery will be the only target, but this does open up drop pressure later on, and really just force almost the entire army of Gerald back home. Now Marines, of course, this drop is not going to work because the Phoenix are there. But it did force Byun back, or it did force Gerald back. Byun will gladly trade 8 Marines into medevac, 10 total supply, for forcing Gerald back, for allowing Byun now to take his third base, to set up more static defense, to set up his Widow Mine field better. And the next time that Gerald runs across the map, Byun's going to be under 50 supply. He's going to have 1-1. He's going to have his Ghost Academy. Ghosts are going to start to roll out. And that means that this timing that Gerald has been looking for with his army that he's been building, well, it does kind of time out. That being said, of course, Gerald. Raven in the auto turret's going to be rather nice, but of course, it's not going to get all that much done. These, well, Phoenix are here, but still 2 workers do go down, make it 3. And for a unit that was really really almost useless in this game, we take those. So Ghost on the way, has enhanced shockwave as well, but Byun has to be very careful right now. That's a lot of Zealots. That is so many. Byun, he's going to stim. He's going to micro backwards. Widow Mines. How good are the Widow Mines? Oh, Widow Mines are going to be disgustingly good. But now the Phoenix, they arrive, and it's so hard to run away from this army of Byun. He's abusing the range. That being said, the flank from behind is a big problem. Widow Mines, where are their burrows? No. Gerald picks them up. He denies them, but Byun, he's going to be able to retreat back home, and that could have been scary for both players, to be totally honest. Gerald, hot fingers on the Widow Mines, picks them up, and Byun is able to weasel his way out of a trap. Of course, the random Widow Mine that's there that's already gone off. Yeah, that's going to get dealt with. But Byun, enhanced shockwaves just about done. Gerald, though, he's advancing his tech just a little bit faster. That 4th base has really been allowing him to find a really nice, consistent economically. Yes, we're seeing Byun forward in minerals occasionally, but that's because of mules more than anything else. And Gerald is still building Phoenix. He wants to get up to 9. He wants to stay at 9. Interesting. Normally, when we see this type of build, you don't realize, you build all your Phoenix and then you don't replace them. But I guess in this game where Blink is not yet done, it is worthwhile. So Phoenix is going to dive in once again. They're going to find a STV. That's nice. But Sensor Tower means it's really not going to get much more than that one. Is Widow Mine trying to burrow? No, it's not going to get much of anything. Okay. But good EMPs. With the EMPs at the time of the Phoenix is mostly done. Phoenix Force against ground are only as useful as much energy as they have, and if you drop a couple EMPs on their head, they just don't really do much of anything. But Gerald now, he's active on the map once again. Extended Thermal Lance is done. His 2-2 is not just yet, but he does have 1-1. And with Colossus here on the map, he's got 3 of them. He's adding a 4th. Byun is building 4 Vikings at a time, of course. But he only has 2 right now, and this is the timing that is really... Byun is just a little bit late to the tech transition, so we're going to have to see how well he's able to make something happen. Now, Sensor Tower does go down, but here come a bunch of Zealots on the right and the left. They're really looking to segment off Byun's army here, but a lot of the Zealots, they're away from the Colossus, so they will just die. There's nothing really to allow them to do what they want to do, and now Byun taking the 4th base, and he's not really going to be able to land it because the Zealots are... Oh, actually, he does land, but Byun stims a bunch of his army over. EMPs are going to eventually be there, but even still, Ghost bonus damage to light means these Zealots are not going to get all that much done. Gerald on the right side, he's trying to find a little bit more, but good scan. Byun is aware of what's happening, and he stims in. He's going to try to find something. EMP is on a lot of these Zealots, and he's just trying to segment the Zealots away from the Colossus, because if the Zealots go down, there's a snipe down on a Zealot as well. If the Zealots go down, the Colossus are painfully exposed. So 4 Vikings again on the way at a time. Byun at 8. He needs to be at 12 for the four Colossus, maybe even a little bit more because Vikings are still in the field. But he's better. He actually, seeing Byun build Vikings is not something we see all that often. But when it's 4 Colossus, you really don't have an option. So now here comes the army of Byun. It's stimming on forward. His upgrades are not yet done, but he's going to get 1 Colossus for free pretty damn quickly. EMPs are actually, it looks like they hit the army already. 2nd Colossus is starting to fall. But now here come the Stalkers. They're trying to do what they can. The Vikings, though, they're still shelling away. Still plentiful Vikings here. A 3rd Colossus getting rather low, and it's going to go down. The Vikings just chasing it down here. Only 1 Colossus does remain. The complexity of Gerald's army is kind of in the dirt now, but he does have Disruptors, and he will have +3 soon enough. So upgrade leads in the favor of Gerald for the moment, and Disruptors still make it hard for Byun to do what he wants to do, but he's going to find the bases on the bottom side. Question, though, is whether he's going to be able to deal with Gerald's 5th base, because again, Gerald has been up 1 base on Byun pretty much for the majority of this game. Also, I don't think I said this, Goten number 9, Goten09 _ thank you so much for the follow, my friend. Glad you're joining me here today. All right, but Byun doing the Byun thing. Although this time he's kind of short on gas, so it's understandable. He's going to find a big concave here, and this is a bit scary. EMP is on the army. Oh, it's going to get 2 ghosts. It's going to get 3 ghosts, actually. Good Disruptor shot, and it's really hard for Byun to find his way up on the ramp right now. Shield battery overcharge invalidating most of the Viking fire. But Byun, he's got gas. He should get +3 armor. Is he going to stim a little bit of his army forward? Hey, that's a free Disruptor. You'll trade that one, absolutely. And as he returns home, I mean, the Phoenix have to be very, very careful. Byun, though, moving to Liberator play behind this because, of course, against Disruptors, Liberators are just about the best possible thing you can get. Widow Mines not killing the Ghosts. 9 workers do go down. The Zealots actually, their AI ruins them. They get a sensor tower, but I don't know how many. Oh, okay, it looks like, no, a couple of them will be able to escape as Gerald posturing on the right side. He's the one that's maxed out right now. Byun was earlier. And Liberators, though, you got to be very careful with them. No fusion core there for Byun, though, not just yet. So it does mean that we don't have Liberator range. That really does invalidate everything Protoss have on the ground. But here Byun stimming on forward again. Disruptor shot's going to force him back, but he trades his way. He gets a Stalker. That's always nice. As there we go. Gerald transitioning into late game now. 2 additional Stargates, the Fleet Beacon. This is what we wanted to see Hero on Saturday night go into, but of course the style Hero was playing was mass expand, mass pressure. And it's really hard to put 24 of your army supply in production when you don't have that to pressure. It just means that Byun will take that opportunity to crunch on through you. But drop into the natural of Gerald as Gerald rotates on over to the other side. He finds a orbital that actually he's got to be very careful with that one. But EMPs, the Byun's army rotates over. That orbital is burning but will not die. Meanwhile, on the other side, it's going to force a recall. Byun's drop here is finding a lot of value, but there we go. Pick up. Sacrifice some Marines. That's fine. We pick up for the most part, return home. Meanwhile, on the other side, this game is just all over the place. Zealots on the right side. They don't really get a lot, though. They get a bunker, and that is really just about it. Byun honestly doesn't even care. The bunker at this point is more than served its purpose. Maybe make another one just to keep yourself safe once again. Byun now, his 5th base is on the way. Interestingly, he built all these orbitals and then he didn't do much with it. But oh, okay, so it's gonna be Tempest, not Carrier. It's to deal with the Liberators, of course, but there's still a pretty sizable Viking army. In fact, how many Liberators do we have? We have 3, but there's still 9 Vikings. This is not easy for the Tempest to be able to deal with for the most part. I kind of feel like you go into Carriers first and then say, okay, that's fine. Maybe you go into Tempest later on. Oh no, we're gonna have to see. +1 air attack just about done. +2 shields on the way as well. Byun realizing, of course, that he forgot his armor. It's every game. I don't know why. For whatever reason, it is just every game. Bio tries to sim on top of the Tempest, but will be unsuccessful. Good EMPs, though. That means a lot of these Stalkers will die. Byun, ooh, he's gonna get himself a Disruptor or 2 as well. But the rest of that does go down as Byun, again, he postures. He's looking for value. He's looking for positions he can find his way onto the map, and those Tempests are pretty defended. So 1 Tempest goes down. Disruptor is going to get targeted on down here. Byun, great splits for right now. The Disruptors are just not finding the value that they're looking for. Another Tempest follows Byun up on the high ground. He gets the Disruptors, but a shot still goes off. And a lot of the army now of Byun, it's falling apart, but it's still 3-2 Bio. It's still Bio against Gateway units, and, well, the reinforcements are going to be enough to force Byun back, but Okay, man, Byun, if he dodges that disruptor shot, that is almost game ending right there for Byun. But because he does not dodge, now Gerald on the other side trying to chase him down, and Byun only on 70 workers. He's lost SCVs. His economy is not nearly as robust as Gerald's is. He can't really take insufficient trades. But of course, he has been trading better this entire game, so really not. We're not at that point just yet. But extended Liberator range just about done. Advanced ballistics has completed. So it's really hard now for Gerald to break Byun. But of course, Byun, he's going to have to take a moment to reinforce. He cannot produce as many basic units as Gerald can anywhere on the map. So it takes him a little bit. He will be able to max out once again. His economy is nice enough with all those mules. He's going to kill off a lot of zealots. But on the flip side, he's going to lose this command center. And that doesn't feel all that great. I mean, he's still on 5 bases. He would like to go on 6, though. Byun on 169 supply. Nice. But look at how Byun is looking to contest this army. He's not really building Liberators anymore. He's got 6 of them. He says that's going to be more than enough. Just Vikings. Vikings, Vikings, Vikings. With his +2, I need to be able to deal with the Tempests that exist. And he's not wrong. Meanwhile, of course, Gerald on the bottom side. He's got another base, putting himself on 7 bases here. But Byun's going to scout that. This base, I don't think, really gets his way on up. And with the Liberator sieging up the mineral line. Sorry. We got a bit of a lag for a second. We're fine now. Vikings, though, they gotta be careful. Stalker's bling on top of it, so a bunch of Vikings do fall. Byun, though, he's maxed out once again. He's going to try to take the position in the center. He's on 5 bases, so he's pretty happy with where he is. The DTs are just not going to serve as any sort of defensive utility whatsoever. Byun finds his way on the pylon. The army, though, of Gerald is going to find the planetary on the left side. The repair is a little bit late, so it's just dead. Byun, though, he's going to look for some reinforcing ability. DTs, though, on the harassment on the other side. They were not great defensively, but they are going to be great offensively here. 15, 16, 17 workers go down. Byun, yeah, he can see him, but he can't kill him. Not all that easily. He loses the planetary as well. Meanwhile, Byun on the other side, he killed another base of Gerald. So Gerald now, count him, he's on 6 bases. Byun, he's on 5, and the DTs, they continue to ravage the main base of Byun here. On the other side, though, Byun taking a fantastic fight against the main army. We're going to see one Tempest go down, and on the recall, a second one. He does not get a third, but he will get it anyways because that was not caught on the recall. Disruptors fall as well. DTs rotating on over to the natural now, but at least there's detection. At least there are Liberators. So DTs, their time in this world is it's running out. Functionally, so the DTs now, they're dead. Byun with a 40 supply lead, but he's gonna lose medevacs, excuse me, on the other side. A lot of the tech now of Gerald has been reset. He does not have much of a bank. The main base actually floating on over to the exposed position here, but Byun, his army, it's something that Gerald will struggle to fight, but he's going to try to take the fight here anyways. EMP is on top of things. Gerald has to run back home. He's going to blink back to the safety of his disruptors. Byun cannot chase all that further because the Manovas, they are there. But now Byun chasing down. It's only 2 disruptors in the game right now. Well, only 2 in the army. A third shot, not going to get much of anything. And defensive DTs. I mean, how many orbitals does Byun have? He has 5, so he's not going to run out of scans anytime soon as he runs forward. But man, disruptors are just so hard to deal with. He's going to stem forward just a little bit of his army, trying to pare him down. And he gets damage done, but the EMP did not hit, so he doesn't really get what he wants. As Liberator, got a couple probes, but forced back. Byun's economy again. He's only on 48 workers. But he did do enough to equalize. He killed 2 of Gerald's bases. He killed a lot of Gerald's bases as well, or Gerald's economy as well. And now with all these orbitals, he can mule hammer a base and keep himself sustained for quite a while here. As disruptor shots from just about everywhere, but that's 60% of the disruptor count from Gerald. Byun, look at this surrounding. Look at this flank he's setting up for himself. But he's not actually going to pull the trigger right now. The pincer movement is, well, it's not crap season just yet. But man, if Gerald moves down this ramp, Byun is going to collapse on top of this one pretty damn hard. And there we go. Byun, he's fully setting up this round. Disruptor shot 1 does not land. Disruptor shot 2 gets a Marauder. That's not really all that great. But look at the army movement on the minimap here. Byun actually he's not even going for a trap. He says, okay, well, I'm just going to knock down your economy if that's where you're going to commit to. A couple more workers will go down. Byun's going to get this base, and that's always rather nice. The Terran in this late game army is so much more maneuverable than what Gerald can do. So 10 more workers do fall. Gerald, he's going to retake the base pretty much as soon as Byun leaves because his army is there. But Byun scans the high ground and says, okay, I can start to take this position. Liberator sieging up, denying mining on Gerald's 5th base. And even still, Byun's got to be careful, though, because Stalkers, they're going to look to blink forward, and that they will. But EMPs, they blanket him anyways. And actually, this is not all that bad of a fight for Byun here. The Stalkers are starting to fall. Disruptor shots at the end, though. They have a different story to tell, but even still, Byun, he's 160 supply to 125. Again, a significant army supply lead here as more and more workers go down. Byun on the right side, he gets another base here, and he's going to knock down the pylons first to make sure that there are no reinforcements. 18 workers have died. Byun, he's everywhere on the map at once, and even the fights that it does not feel like he should be able to take, he takes them anyways. So, one mining base effectively for Gerald at this point. Byun opts into the fight. He says, oh, that's a free Archon, maybe. Archon will be able to escape. But DT's on the other side. They're going to, well, the one that went in, it will go down. Byun rotating on over. He says, okay, do you have a base there? No, you don't. How much mining is at this base? Not a lot, only 4 mineral patches, and they're starting to really heavily mine out. Gerald is giving us a fantastic late game. But really, it's the money that tells the story at this point. Byun, he's a 50 army supply. His army is just better, too. And now we're going to see the Archons and Zealots. They're going to try to find this, what is the most important mining base of Byun here before Byun can rotate on over. But this is such a scary position to fight into. The surrounds that Byun can hit from are so devastating. But here comes the first set of armies. Going to go look. He gets one disruptor. He gets a second disruptor shot, though. He's going to get a little bit of that army of Byun. But still, it's a 40, it's a 50 army supply lead. Byun looking for the rest of the disruptors, and he knocks them down. There is not a lot here. No complexity left in the army. Last disruptor shot. The last hopes and dreams of Gerald in this game. It's all going down. Byun, he takes it to 2-0, and it's a date with Max Packs in the finals.